January 29th, 2010. A man lays in the hospital fighting for his life. What was just an average day at work suddenly turned into a dramatic fall off of a scissor lift onto the cold, hard concrete. There was no time to react, no time to think about what was happening or the consequences of what was about to happen. It just happened. On January 29th, 2010, Brian Lee DeVilbiss passed away, surrounded by his family. That man was my father. I was only 5 years old when he passed. I have no memories of him, not even a recollection of his voice. All I have are stories and descriptions from other people about a man I would otherwise deem as completely non-existent. There simply was just not enough time for me to even form a memory. There's never enough time. Well, as you can see, I'm at the airport right now. It's currently around 11 p.m. We're leaving in about a few minutes from now to Arizona. My first ever real vacation. Very fun, very exciting, but I feel like I'm not quite as excited as I could be or really should be. But we gotta go soon, so I'll tell you why in the morning. All right, so what do I mean exactly when I say that I'm not quite as excited as I should be? To be honest, it's been kind of hard to be excited about much of anything recently for me. It's not that I don't care at all or that I'm not excited about anything at all. It's just been a little bit hard to care. Honestly, kind of feels like I've just lost that spark. You know, as kids, we used to feel this completely consuming excitement about things. Like, in that moment, nothing else really seemed to matter except for the things that we were excited about. Like when I was a kid, I used to get so over the moon excited about going to my favorite places, seeing new movies and whatever, and now I just kind of don't really care anymore. Life and all the little things in between have just kind of more things to add to the pile. I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. Just look around. Everyone is always on their phones. In the past, we were forced to make the most out of every moment, even the boring ones. Now, we can just escape into the aether of stimulation on a moment's notice. We're constantly surrounded by a never-ending stream of exciting things that we never actually get to physically experience. It's all virtual, and the constant barrage of stuff has made us numb. Nothing truly feels exciting anymore because we can't appreciate anything anymore. We're just living life on autopilot, trudging along through life. We live as if time is no longer something to be cherished, but past. Arrogance is bliss. We skip through our lives as if we have time to waste, but in reality, the time we've spent up till today, the entirety of our lives, and the whole existence of mankind on this earth are absolutely nothing in the face of all eternity. We are all quickly barreling towards the end, yet we choose to use the very limited amount of time that we're given to fill ourselves with empty, meaningless emotions and experiences that contribute less than nothing to our lives. And yet, when we reach the end, we'll beg and plead for more time, crying that we didn't have enough. There's one thing I've learned. You don't know how much time you'll have until it ends. My grandfather passed away just a couple of months ago. After the funeral, I couldn't get out of my head the thought that I didn't spend enough time with him. The older I got, the less and less I saw of him. Both him and my father never met my girlfriend. They'll never see me get married. They'll never meet my kids. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to fulfill that for my children either. Time is no guarantee, and yet we live as if it were. We ignore the ones we love because I can talk to them later. We put off things because I can do that later. But what makes us so sure that later will even come? Yes, this life is indescribably short, and there's no way to know how much time you have. And with the time that you do have, you're wasting. But this doesn't mean that life is without hope. Perhaps the most important thing that I've learned is that you shouldn't let the anxiety of time's passage consume you. Instead, let it motivate you to enjoy each and every moment that you're given. Instead of letting your days fly by in a blur, let every moment become a memory to look fondly on later. Spend time with the ones you love. Practice your hobbies. Learn everything that you can. Explore God's creation. Get to know new people. Cherish where you're at and what you have. Seek adventure. Take risks. Do all the things that make you uncomfortable. Life is so indescribably precious. Don't waste it as if it were nothing at all. We've all conditioned ourselves to believe that we have all the time in the world. But the truth is, we don't. In fact, we barely have any at all. But with what little we do have, we must choose to either walk the path of life without meaning, or live life so that when it ends, you have no reason at all to say that there was never enough time.
You